Empires on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
I don't know what it is. Ralph just won't pay any attention to me. When he comes home from work, all he ever does is play video games and go to sleep. It's like I don't even exist.
Oh, Betty, that's just awful.
Does this seem familiar? If the answer to this question is yes, then listen carefully. Toxic pesticides, GMO foods and additives, BPA plastics, contaminated water supplies. Many of these toxic additives are deliberately engineered to attack and weaken human masculinity. It's part of the eugenics population control movement. Look it up. If men are more interested in online gaming than they are in their wives, a serious population crisis is soon to follow. Energize the man in your life with Super Male Vitality from InfoWarsLife.com. It's designed to aid the body in ways that help invigorate your natural systems without artificial testosterone, completely free of GMOs, harmful additives, gluten, and is made right here in the USA. Get your Super Male Vitality right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, listen carefully. Sweeping changes to IRS policies will help more people than ever eliminate their tax debts once and for all. And now, I can help you reduce or eliminate your tax debts and end your tax nightmare. Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I've helped thousands of people reduce and eliminate tax debts they couldn't pay. And after more than 30 years of experience dealing with the IRS, I can tell you there's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. And with the IRS's new policies, it's easier than ever to put your tax debt behind you once and for all. Call now at 800-346-6829 to learn how I can help you. You know your IRS debt will not go away by itself, but you don't have to live in fear anymore. Call 800-346-6829. Learn how I can help you eliminate wage and bank levies, release tax liens, and negotiate a settlement with the IRS that will put your tax nightmare behind you forever. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to taxhelponline.com. That's taxhelponline.com.
Recent events have shown just how vulnerable we are to deadly viruses, bacteria, and fungus. These diseases are all caused by infectious pathogens that often get the upper hand on conventional medical treatments. Now more than ever, there's a great need for a product that will help protect us. Look no further. Supernatural Silver can provide immune system support to help fight off these deadly pathogens. Supernatural Silver is a new and vastly improved type of silver solution that's safe and extremely effective against 143 types of bacteria, both forms of viruses, mold, and yeast. Supernatural Silver can be taken orally or used topically and can be used in a nebulizer or vaporizer for inhalation. With over 180 scientific studies by independent universities, hospitals, and research institutions, Supernatural Silver is a powerful weapon against disease. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off your entire order. Give you and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
Coming to you from the George Washington Studios. Only TV viewers know what I'm talking about. Don't tread on me. Gotta love it. That's what's happening. America was in a trance in 1913 when the private banks took over, the offshore banks. They slowly got the nation into debt. They created Hitler and the communists so they would have an outside threat to turn us into a police state and allow those other empires to go around robbing and stealing so they could have culpable, non-culpable deniability, plausible denial. And then now they're here opportunistically funding a giant global hardcore jihad against Christians and any stable, sovereign, secular government to overthrow. They'll use that jihad threat to then take all Western freedoms as well. But once you provoke the people of this republic, and liberty lovers, not just here but worldwide, it is the beginning of the end of the tyranny. Once the genie's out of the bottle, once people know the manipulation and the full spectrum dominance program that the crime syndicate worldwide is using, it's game over. And that's now the point we've gotten to. One reason I also like the new studio setup is that more and more we got good mics in there with the crew, and we are going to be able to then just, hey, I want to hear what Jakari Jackson thinks about what's going on. And then we can literally just talk to Jakari in there and have like a discussion like we're here together. In fact, I didn't tell you guys I was going to do this. Does he pipe through so I can talk to him on air? Okay, well, that's the plan. Absolutely. We'll pipe him through. Yeah, sure. But just down the road, then I will be able to sit back and talk to everybody that's in there. We'll be able to pan over and talk to Rob Dew, also known as Deucifer. Let's go ahead and pan over to him for TV viewers. Dun, dun, dun. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, with Marcos Morales. There you go. All right. See, we got a few crew members around here that got names that are so cool sounding. I just walk around saying them, like Jakari Jackson, Marcos Morales. Who else am I saying's got a really cool sounding name? I mean, Max Kaiser's got one, but he doesn't work with us. Max Kaiser. We could have a vote with the listeners, like not what your favorite color is or fantasy football, but who has a cooler name? Buckley Hammond. That's definitely an unusual name. Or Jakari, you got to see Buckley Hammond, Jakari Jackson, Marcos Morales. Gonna have the vote on InfoWars or Deucifer. That is the giant hippie. Anyways, the whole point is we're just, all right, I always get dingy by the third hour already. And I've been up since 6 a.m. and I'm feeling good. I am getting a little bit goofy here. So let me get serious back to the hardcore subject. I'm going to get to some more of the smoking guns and some video clips here in a moment, Building 7. But first off, who do we have? Joe Biggs or Leanne McAdoo? They're on the ground in New York. We're going to talk to him for about 5 minutes, and then Leanne McAdoo to see what's happened since I talked to him 2 hours ago. And this is a great thing. We're here broadcasting worldwide, AM, FM, internet, video streams, podcast. They're in New York, just all together bringing you the cutting edge of true analysis here. Let's go to Joe Biggs. Joe, you've been sitting there for 10 minutes as I've been ranting. What do you think for you waking up to 9/11 Truth? When did that begin to happen? And 9/11 Truth, folks, is just not buying the official ridiculous lie, like Obama saying ISIS isn't Islamic or there's no boots on the ground. It just means, listen, I don't believe everything you're telling me. There's more to this. What was your 9/11 Truth moment, or was it a process? And what do you think the big smoking gun of 9/11 is, Joe Biggs?
Well, first off, I'd like to throw my name in the hat for the coolest name, Alex, as Joe Biggs. Then for the waking up part, that happened my first year in Iraq. I was actually trying to buy a Jean-Claude Van Damme action movie so I could sit down in my little hooch and relax and watch it. And what it was a documentary about 9/11. And instead of watching Jean-Claude Van Damme, I watched this documentary on the facts, the smoking guns, things that happened. And I began to reevaluate myself and my stance and questioning whether or not my being in the military and being deployed was for the right reasons. Because like I said before, I joined because of the attacks at 9/11 here in New York City, where we're at right now. We're at the bottom of the new Trade Center. So that was a defining moment for me. Like I said, I felt like I was betrayed by someone I love very much, which is my country. I still do love my country, and I'm going to stand up and fight for it as much as I can. But I am pissed off at the government and, you know, this entire cover-up. I don't like it whatsoever. You know, so that documentary woke me up. I began sharing it with my friends, and now I am where I am today.
I can't tell you, Joe, how many of our listeners over the years came to us via documentary films. That's why Rob Jacobson is always harping, we got to make films again, we got to make films again. Well, we make films every day. We make many documentaries. But it is true that I kind of want to make films that are so powerful, and I produce Loose Change as well, and I'm in Zeitgeist, even though they didn't ask for my permission, and the first one that was a big hit. But the point I'm getting at is the power of film really is revolutionary. And I want to encourage the viewers out there, you're just as smart as we are, probably smarter in some ways. Where are you doing a podcast? Where are you making films? Where are you taking action? Together culturally, if we promote liberty and if we shop, thinking about where the money's going and support local and support liberty-based media, we will supplant the whole system. I think 13 years after 9/11, things are so clear. People don't get mad at you now if you're a, quote, 9/11 truther because they've been lied to so much they get questioning, even if they believe the official story, Joe.
Yeah, today, I mean, right behind me, there's been quite a large group of people passing out pamphlets, saying things like that, saying, hey, do you really know what happened? You know, some people say, you know, screw you, basically, and walk by and they don't want to hear anything. You know, and I've actually had one person came up and started cussing at me earlier. But, you know, that's just how it happens. I told him that he could take his purse and move on. But, you know, there's a lot of people out here that are smart, that know what happened, they're awake. And, you know, from what I've seen 10 years ago until now, you have a lot more people that are well informed. And yes, film is very powerful. Those documentaries, like I said, changed my life, and I know a lot of my other friends' lives as well. So that is a very important tool to help get out that information.
What do you think the biggest smoking gun is? For me, it's Building 7, because...
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, that without a doubt right there. I mean, that's the seller right there. I mean, I mean, that's where I'm standing at right now, the base of, right behind Josh, if you want to see. This is the new Building 7. Oh, yeah. So earlier today, it was pretty interesting. When we first got out here, I actually had a uniformed police officer who didn't want to be on film, so I respected him. He's about to retire in 2 months, he said. But he came up and he said he was one of the first responders on 9/11, and he said he saw an explosion come out and shoot debris out the bottom, out of the second tower, before it ever collapsed. So he came over and he's like, I don't know if you know this or you've heard stuff. I was like, I've heard about explosions. He's like, yeah, he's like, I just want to confirm with you. He's like, if I wasn't, you know, if I was already retired, I would have no problem going on camera. He's like, I can't have gone this far and then throw everything away. So, you know, there's people out here that know what really happened. You have first responders that are passionate about trying to get this information out, and they're not going to sleep knowing that people are trying to cover it up.
Keep going, Joe. Keep going.
Okay, so, yeah, like I said, where we're at right now, we're right outside of the new One World Center, which is right over here to the right. Josh is going to pan over and show you. This is a brand new building. It's still under construction for the most part. Down around the ground levels, they're still doing some exterior work. But the police have completely blocked off any chances of getting near the memorial area today until 6 p.m. This whole area has just been locked down. Military has had a presence out here as well. You'll see Army and Air Force paired together. You'll see one soldier, one airman walking around. So that's been pretty crazy. There's a man over here. He is retired Special Forces, and he's standing in front of the De Oppressa Libre, which means to liberate the oppressed. They have a monument for the basically the first Special Forces responders who went into Afghanistan to go after the Taliban after the attacks. So there's a memorial for that. He stands over there, and he's been speaking to people about the missions and things like that. And I asked him, I said, do you feel betrayed at all? Do you feel like I feel that I have been lied to and betrayed by my country, and that, you know, in essence, all the lives we lost were for the global elites to make more money? I mean, Feinstein made so much money off of this incident that it's just mind-blowing. You know, what was it, billions of dollars probably.
Her husband, yeah.
The insurance, I mean, it's mind-blowing.
Well, Larry Silverstein had double insurance on it, only got it 2 months before it happened, and we just have so much evidence. Joe, we're going to come back to you guys in just a moment and get Leanne McAdoo's top smoking gun. Thank you so much, Joe. I know you've got a lot more coming up tonight. You guys have done a fantastic job, and for myself, the whole crew, and the viewers, thank you for your dedication, because, hey, I don't see it as bad that you went and fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. You meant well, even though you were manipulated into it. It takes even more courage to admit you were scammed. We've all been scammed at one time or another. What matters is admitting we were wrong later, and then now truly fighting for the Republic, really fighting for the truth. And now it's not you getting a DVD that, you know, somebody was selling in Iraq, just like in the movie Hurt Locker with little kids selling them. You are now reaching out to the people in the info war, and it all started with you going out and saying, hey, Joe, you know, Joe Biggs here, my friend who was, you know, clearly killed, Michael Hastings, for speaking out and telling the truth. He was set up. Homeland Security was coming after him. Everybody else in his family, friends, they all knew that. They knew Homeland Security had gone to his house But they were all so scared they shut up. You were willing to come out when there were threats flying and talk to us and